Welcome to Ice Hockey UK TV in association with McDonald's, and the first from Astana in Kazakhstan. And we're in the Barris Arena, the 12,000-seater arena, and what a sight it is to behold. It's the KHL rink here in Astana. Really is a lovely rink and great facilities. So GB women start their Olympic qualification campaign right here as they go and look to bid to get through to the 2018 Winter Olympics. First of all, tomorrow they play against Mexico. On Friday, it's Poland, and then on Sunday, it is Kazakhstan. GB left England and they left Heathrow around about 5:30 yesterday, travelled through the night. Clocks went on 6 hours here in Kazakhstan. So then the GB girls, well, we landed around about 5:30 in the morning. Quickly here to the rink to drop off the kit, to the hotel for some breakfast, and then back here to the rink for the first practice session on Kazakhstan soil. So far, it's been a whistle-stop tour, but it really has been impressive facilities in the early stages of this trip. Well, let's look ahead to the tournament now and go inside the GB camp. I'm with GB Women's head coach Cheryl Smith. Cheryl, here we are in Astana in the Barris Arena. It's an impressive facility, isn't it?
It's fantastic facilities. Probably the best we've played in, to be perfectly honest.
Do you think the girls can take inspiration from, they'll step out here and have a look at the surroundings? Can they take inspiration from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? They're not daft. They know the quality of this venue. Changing rooms, it's been commented around the changing rooms already. Great facilities. So I think it's just going to help. Yeah, it really is.
Now, World Championship is special, but these Olympic tournaments only come round every 4 years. So it's been 4 years since the women went to China, wasn't it, and started their qualification 4 years ago. Is that extra bit of special, isn't it, when the word Olympics mentioned?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the dream. I think I'm right in saying that. For some players, it's the dream. It's what all the hard work's about for them, and it's patience. They have to make sure they're fit, ready to come round for selection. A couple of players out through injury, no fault of their own. So yeah, they've got an awful lot of work to do to make sure that they make it for the squad selection alone. Your
squad makeup is a mixture of experienced players, but one thing that you've done since yourself and Michelle have been in the programme is you've taken your faith in younger players, and that's reflected in this squad as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not just the younger players. I mean, they are hungry for it, and the quality and the depth of selection, the number of players that we have now to choose from is pushing the more experienced players. So that with the youth, the hunger and the experience, yeah, we've got a great mix. We were actually sat discussing the lines earlier on, myself, Michelle and James, and we have 4 strong lines. We have quality of skating, skill on all 4 lines. It really is good to see this year.
How do you go about such a quick tournament, 3 games in 4 days, one after the other? How do you go about preparing when you've got such a short time span?
One game at a time.
Really, the old cliche.
It really is, yeah. We won't jump ahead. First game, Mexico, and again we will play 20-minute period at a time. We won't let the girls get ahead. That's when mistakes happen. We've been there, done that, and I think it's only by doing that you learn and you don't make the same mistakes again. So as far as we're concerned, it's 20-minute period, 3, and then we'll take it game by game. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Chrissy Newman, you've just had your first training session on Kazakhstan ice. How did that go?
Not too bad, considering obviously the overnight flight that we had, and jumping 6 hours forward in time, I think was a bit of a shock to the systems. But I think you can see here the ice pad's actually very hard, very crisp and quite fast. I think we did all right, a few stray passes here and then early on, but towards the end I think we were starting to look pretty sharp, pretty good considering we're missing a night's sleep, but all good so far.
Now, you've played in a number of World Championships, but this rink must be one of the best you're going to ever play in.
I mean, if you look at it, I think it's pretty damn special. I think it's probably the best rink I've ever stepped foot in. There's a lot of seats, the facility's incredible, the change rooms, the hotel, everything I think is probably one of the best I've actually been to by a long shot. So.
What's the spirit like in the squad? Everyone seems very bubbly.
Like we said, World Championships, I think there's always a buzz around that, a good buzz, but I think this is just that little bit extra special, isn't it? There's a chance to do something here, and I think we can all say that we've probably taken a little bit of inspiration from the GB women's field hockey team. They did something that, a couple of years ago many people would not have thought was possible, but they went and did it with a lot of hard work, determination, and they clearly stuck together with a good psychology. And I think that's something that we want to take forward into this. And I just think, again, we've got here, this rink's amazing, and if that doesn't pick up your spirits even more, then I don't know what is going to. But again, I think we're all pretty happy. Good squad again, really.
As a player, how do you prepare yourself for the challenges of 3 games in 4 days? Because that's a real run of games.
I think it's a very personal thing. I think, we have obviously Danny back at home who sets us up with our strength and conditioning programmes that, we go away, we follow back at our own gyms, obviously local gyms. But there's little things that I think you all have to do as individual preparations, because different things work for different players. And, when you find what works for you and, again, it's what you put in, you're going to get back out, on the ice and deliver good sessions. So for me, example, it is, I do little things like monitor my sleep. Am I getting enough? Because for me being, hate to say it, but the oldest player on the team, for recovery for me, it's not such a big thing. But moving forward that, I try to take care of myself every day, doing mobility, doing my strength work, doing, my conditioning. And I hope to God that that's enough and puts me through 3 games here in 4 days.
It is quite a relatively young squad, a number of younger players. Do you think, do they look to you for experience sometimes?
Some of the girls here are my club teammates, and I hope that I can, give some mentorship to them. As I said, I have done several World Championships. I have done one of these tournaments back in China 4 years ago. And I think as you do get older as a player, it's not just your ability that develops, but it is your psychological side, your mental strength. And I think that's something I've learned as an individual, and I've gained from other, players that are no longer in the programme. That's what I've learned from them. And yeah, I do hope that they do take on, because it can be quite daunting. Some of these are going to be playing their first GB game in this rink and in quite a special tournament. And I think they do, they always ask us at club, what's it like, and we do tell them, your rest period is really quite vital. It's not quite club hockey anymore when you step out here.
So they're ready to go. It's going to be an exciting few days as GB look to qualify for the next stage of the qualifying section for the 2018 Winter Olympics. And you can follow them every step of the way because we are with them here in Astana in Kazakhstan. So you can like us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and all the games will be live on the BBC Sport website, radio commentary. So just log on to bbc.co.uk/sport. Follow the links there. We'll put them out on Twitter and Facebook. So all the games live on the BBC Sport website. It's time for the talking to stop. We are now getting closer and closer to that first face-off. GB against Mexico gets underway at 3 o'clock here in Kazakhstan and 9 o'clock in the morning UK time. That's it for now on Ice Hockey UK TV in association with McDonald's.